I'm Tommy Dee from the KnicksBlog.com, hanging with my main man, Adam Zagoria from ZagsBlog.com. We're here to talk about the NBA draft and the Big East. Adam, as we get closer to Thursday, there are a lot of Big East prospects, and the one guy who's most polarizing for me and really could shape the beginning of the draft is Thabeet. Give me your thoughts on the UConn center.
Well, Thabeet, I think in some sense it shows you how weak of a draft this is, that he's going to be probably the number 2 or 3 pick. He's a tremendous shot blocker. He altered and changed a lot of shots at Connecticut this year. Has to develop his offensive game a little bit. I think the closest parallel is Dikembe Mutombo in the NBA. But I don't see that he's ever going to be a dominating offensive force. He has to work on his offensive game. But it does show how strong the Big East is, that 7 or 8 guys could be taken in the draft from the Big East. Another
one of those guys who we talked to Donnie Walsh the other day about was Johnny Flynn, and he doesn't think Flynn is too high at 4, as in the Kings taking Flynn at 4 is not out of the question. And for me, that sets up a lot of great things moving forward for the Knicks from a point guard standpoint. You know it's going to be part of the target, although Walsh said it's not necessarily the pick. They could always move up. But it also sets up down the line for some other Big East players, maybe guys like DeJuan Blair. Give me your thoughts on DeJuan Blair.
Well, first of all, Johnny Flynn, I think we heard from Donnie Walsh that he clearly likes Johnny Flynn. The kid's a winner. He was named the most outstanding player in the Big East tournament, even though Syracuse didn't win. He played 67 out of 70 minutes in that famous 6 overtime game against Connecticut. So, he's a tough kid. He's a scorer, and I think he's going to be an exciting player to watch in the NBA. There's a couple other guys you don't hear so much. Terrence Williams, coming out of Louisville, can play multiple positions, the 2, the 3, the 4. I know the Nets had some interest in him. A guy like Sam Young out of Pitt, also Tommy. He's older. He's 24 years old. Tremendous shooter and scorer. I think he could step in and score right away. And then you mentioned DeJuan Blair. I think his parallel is kind of a Glenn Big Baby Davis from the Celtics. Tough physical player, needs to develop his face-up game a little bit.
Absolutely. And when you talk about the other prospects, you mentioned Williams. I just spoke to a Big East assistant who said that he could be the steal of the first round if he's taken in that. He's not a top 10 pick, but he's certainly somebody in that 11 to 20 range who really does a lot of things. And he kind of compared him to a Trevor Ariza out in L.A., not necessarily as long or as tall. But you got a chance to see Williams a lot, the kid from Louisville. Give us a little bit more on Terrence.
Well, he's one of 2 Louisville guys, also Earl Clark from Rahway, High School in New Jersey, who will probably go in the first round. Terrence Williams is a tremendous leader. Louisville was the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. He was the emotional leader, the captain of that team. He does have to work on his shot a little bit. I don't think he's the greatest shooter in the world, but he brings a lot of intangibles. He's a winner. He knows how to win. He can shoot. He can rebound. He can move without the ball. He can pass. He is kind of bouncy like Trevor Ariza. So I could see a team that needs a multiple position guy taking Terrence Williams.
It's going to start with Thabeet. It's going to be an interesting week. Maybe with the Knicks, Flynn could be an option if he's not taken at 4. But again, to your point, it shows the strength of the conference, and certainly it's going to be a big week for the Big East, and let's see if the Knicks can get involved in it. Zags, great job as always. We appreciate the knowledge. And for more knowledge, head to the KnicksBlog.com or ZagsBlog.com for all your information on the Knicks and the Big East. He's Adam. I'm Tommy. See you next time.